Atlanta News First Plus starts now.
And become proficient in reading. This is something Atlanta News First has been doing for 8 years now. This is our 29th school, and we have given out over 96,000 books to young learners, anywhere from preschool to 4th grade and 5th grade. And today we're going to have another opportunity to do that. As you can see behind me, all of those bins, those are books that are going to go to each grade level: pre-K, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 5th grade, matching their current reading level and getting them excited about the reading journey. And you can see all of our Atlanta News First family standing by, getting ready to greet these young learners. We're starting with pre-K and kindergarten. We're going to be reading books to them, and I want to show you some of the books that they're going to get in their bags right here. I'm going to try to hold the mic and do this at the same time. We have Disaster Strikes, A Blizzard Night. And this is an exciting read. I actually was taking some time to read it myself right before we started this stream up. We got Andrew Clements, Jake Drake, Know It All. This was actually a book about the Scholastic Science Fair, and of course we keep it going down the line with Hey Lil D, It's All in the Name, a story about a young boy who has shoes that are just too big for him, and he learns how to love all of his features. And then we have The Homesick Kitten, of course, my personal favorite. And we've been talking about this here while we started today up and we got into the library at Humphries Elementary here, is who would win, a Triceratops or a Spinosaurus? So for all of those of you who are on our YouTube live right now, that's my question of the day for you, is who would win? I want to know what you think the answer would be. And interestingly enough, we have an in-house expert on the topic. I want to bring in Atlanta News First reporter Joshua Skinner. All right, Josh, so serious question here. Triceratops or Spinosaurus? Who's it going to be?
Well, I've watched, as a dinosaur expert, having watched Jurassic Park at least 50 times, it depends. You know, both of these creatures were alive in the late Cretaceous period, so we're actually getting the time right. I think a lot of times dinosaur movies combine like animals from like millions of years apart. It's like, that's not realistic. They also probably had feathers anyway. But either way, I'd have to go with, it depends on the size of the Triceratops.
Right.
Because you're talking about the Spinosaurus, that's an alpha predator, but a Triceratops ain't easy. It's got the big long horns, that's what I'm going to call them.
Oh.
What are they?
I take it back. Maybe not as much of an expert after all.
The terminology is neither here nor there. But I would have to say I'd go with the Spinosaurus, just because I think it's got the size to take on the Triceratops. But, you know, the Triceratops, if it gets into that soft underbelly of the Spinosaurus, it definitely could cause some damage.
We'll see if the kids agree with you after we read to them.
What kid would ever choose a Triceratops to win in a fight?
Triceratops are mighty dinosaurs, Josh. Don't underestimate them.
In the Land Before Time, the historical film Land Before Time, the Triceratops, Sarah, was like my least favorite character. So, you know, whatevs.
This is live, by the way, so, you know, the people are going to come out and voice their opinions with or against you on this topic.
That's fine.
And we're getting ready to welcome those students in. I know you got a chance to talk to some of the sponsors, some of the organizers of today's Books to Kids event. What did they say?
Yeah, well, we spoke with Dante Cleaves, who owns and operates a McDonald's out here, and the idea that, you know, these companies consider themselves, especially McDonald's, a global company, that it's more than just serving food. You're also getting involved in your community. Those stats show that if kids are not proficient in reading by the middle of 3rd grade or so, that they often never catch up. And so getting books in the hands of children at a young age kind of empowers them to learn and to grow, and it kind of sets them up, even if you are just reading about who's going to win this fictional battle between dinosaurs, helps set kids up for the future.
I will say, these books are fantastic. They're exciting. They're colorful.
They're my reading level, too.
And they're my reading level, yeah. I might take some of these home myself.
Why don't we need to have a books to adults thing, you know, where they give out like Moby Dick and War and Peace and things like that.
I mean, that might encourage some adult reading.
Yes, exactly.
I know not too many people our age now are reading as much as they should be, so.
It's a crying shame.
But for the students that are about to walk into this room here at Humphries Elementary School, we're just minutes away from our first book reading. We are going to be reading one of these books. You'll have to stay tuned. And of course, giving these students each of the 5 books so that they can take these books home. They can read with their families. Josh, we're going to ask the kids if they agree with you.
I am shaking in anticipation.
Thank you so much. And of course, again, we've been doing this for 8 years now. We've given over 96,000 books out to these students, as Josh shimmies away from the camera. And this is just going to be another day that we do that for these students. We actually have spoken to some of these students on Atlanta News First Plus before, and they've said that they're going to go home and read with their parents. They're going to go home and read with their brothers and sisters. And so not only are you giving students an opportunity to connect with characters and to begin their reading journey, you're also giving families a chance to connect and have an activity and some time to read together. So this book, obviously a fan favorite of us here at Atlanta News First, but we have all 5 books that come in these bags right here. Step back on camera. And in these bags are also fun tools that will help them on their reading journey. This highlighter will let them follow along on their favorite book and highlight their favorite pages, mark down whatever they need to mark down, and they get this nice book bag. So they can use it to hold their books at home, put other things in here. This is going to every single student that you're going to see here today. They're going to take home 5 of these books. That is theirs to keep. They don't have to return it. There's no library deadline. And hopefully they'll get started on their reading journey, and it'll inspire them to go from learning to read to reading to learn. And that is all we can hope for here at Atlanta News First. This has been a mission 8 years in the making for us, and we are inching closer to giving out 100,000 books day by day each month that we do this for the students here in Metro Atlanta. So this is Humphries Elementary School. It's in Southeast Atlanta, and these books are going to learners that might not have the opportunity to access the books they want on their own. So I do believe we're about to welcome these students in. And as they have their seat, we are going to take you out to our Atlanta News First team here. You can see Gravir dancing there, waving hello. They're going to be giving these books out to these students out of those bins that you see here. High fives are going to be going all around, and then they'll have a seat right here where I believe our Atlanta News First anchor, Tracy Hutchins, will be reading the first book, and you'll have a chance to read along with her. I really hope it's the Triceratops versus Spinosaurus one. I want to see the reaction for these students pre-K through kindergarten.
Take a poll. I'm telling you, Spinosaurus is going to win.
If you didn't hear Josh just now, he said the Spinosaurus is going to win. He's manifesting it. They're just outside this door. We're going to welcome them in. I'm going to step on camera while they get situated, and then we will take you out live to the first book reading here at Humphries Elementary School. each of these students taking their book bags, about to look inside to those 5 books that we showed you on camera just a couple minutes ago. And of course, these are the young learners that are going to get to read here along with our Atlanta News First, Tracy Hutchins. They're going to pull out their books and read along and start their reading journey here with us today at Humphries Elementary. I just got a wave from one of the students. In the room, by the way, is our Atlanta News First anchor, Tracy Hutchins, First Alert meteorologist, Courtney Jacobazi, anchor Gravir Dinza, and there's Blair Miller off to the side there. We'll get to hear from each of them as we do a book reading and they answer questions that the students have for them. But right now it's all about getting them excited about the reading process, cheering them on, high-fiving them, lifting their spirits, and welcoming their smiling faces as we give them their book.
have 5 books because that's what we do. We want you to love to read a black brimmed hat. So a big hat, she put it all in her mouth. I don't know how she was able to do it. She had a really big mouth, right? Very good. I feel like you've read this before. You're very good at this, right? Well, there was a cold lady who swallowed a stick, a long brown branch. What? A pit. Oh my goodness, why in the world would she do all this? And she crunched it down too. There was a cold lady who swallowed a scarf. A long striped scarf. She tried not to barf. Yeah, she was trying not to choke it up, right? It was a lot. Can you guys see this? This woman must have a really, really big stomach to get all of this in there. Well, now this cold lady had quite enough, so she thought and came up with a plan. I bet some, don't say it, but I bet some of you know what that plan is. You just said it, didn't you? Right? So she hit it twice, and out popped, what do you think it was?
A snowman!
I know, you guys are so good. So it was...
She was making a snowman in her mouth.
Why in the world would she do that? She hiccuped and out popped a snowman. So there's the hat, there's the stick, there's the scarf, there's the pole, right? All of it.
There's the snowman.
Where's the snowman right there?
That's the snow.
Who is that?
The snowman. It's the guy on,
Yeah. But I feel like there's an easier way to make a snowman, right?
Yeah.
There's gotta be an easier way.
Yeah.
Who knows how to make a snowman?
Me.
The few times we have, I know, I can too, right? You just roll it all up and you make the little body and the rest of the parts too, right?
I know.
No, you tell me how much time, but not the next one. Do they have any questions? Okay, 5 minutes. Okay. So listen, class, listen, kindergartner, because I know you're very, very good. So I told you we are from, what station are we from? Who remembers? Atlanta News First, right? So do you have any questions about what we do on TV? We have our photographers here, we have other anchors here, we have reporters here. Yes,
Our teacher here.
that's a good question. Does everyone at our station get to be on TV? No. Some don't want to be on TV. Some like doing what they're doing. So we have all kinds of people who do other jobs, like they sell things for the station, they produce things for the station, they put together big events like this, they do projects to tell you about big events like this. So there's so many people who have so many other jobs. We have people who write the stories and help put together the newscast that we put on TV, and of course the photographers who shoot all of those things, because without any video, it'd be really hard for us to tell you a story, wouldn't it? Yes, sir. In the yellow. Yes, sir. You had a question? Yes, sir. Say it again. I can't hear you, honey.
He said Frosty.
Frosty? Oh, Frosty the Snowman. Yes, that's what we could call him. So who has a question about TV? Yes, ma'am. Yes. You're right. We tell you what's going on in the world, right? And we have meteorologists, maybe they'll come a little bit later, and they tell you what the weather is going to be like. This would have been a really good... Oh, I'm so sorry, Courtney. Courtney's a meteorologist, so she can tell you what the weather's going to be like today, right? Okay, yes.
Do they have the author in the illustrator?
They do. They have the author here, Lucille Calandro, and illustrated by Jared Lee in this book, right? I don't know if this one is in your bag or not, but this is a very, very good one to look at. All right, one more question. Yes?
How do you make it go on TV?
How do we make... Ooh, that's a complicated one. How do we make it go on TV?
We have a special room. It's called a hub, and they get everything on TV for us. They're like the behind the scenes of the behind the scenes
It's like we send out the signal, yeah. So he was right. So what he has right there connected, this mirror, can you show him your pack? So it's almost kind of sort of like a cell phone with video, but a big one, right? Because you're not going to walk around with that. So he can see all the video right now he's sending back to the station. So just like similar to the way a cell phone works, you know, you can call your mom and your friends all the way across country. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you, class, for listening. I appreciate you. Really awesome. All right, so we have one more treat for you, okay? Stickers. So before you go, we want to make sure each one of you gets a sticker, okay? Don't put them on the walls. You can put them on your books or other things. But nothing on the school, okay?
And these are our pre-K through kindergarten students here at Humphries Elementary School in Southeast Atlanta. We just read a book that I feel like is a childhood staple for all of us, Frosty the Snowman. I remember it being read to me. Does anybody remember Rainbow Fish? I feel like that was another one that everybody seemed to have read when they were in elementary school growing up. And this is what we're talking about. This is why we do what we do for 8 years now. The Books to Kids initiative is our opportunity to connect these young learners, these young students, with a chance to find characters, find stories, and immerse themselves in a whole different world as they begin their journey to reading. Now, the statistic that I want you all to remember in this is that if students aren't reading proficiently by the 3rd grade, they may never catch up in life. So it's really important, not just for your teachers and your parents, but community members, brothers, siblings. If you have a young person in your life, especially if they're really, really little and not reading yet, to get them exposed through reading stories to them, through getting them excited about books, to telling them about what books are and what they can do for you. And this is why we're here at Humphries Elementary, reading to students. Pre-K through kindergarten just came through here. We're about to welcome the 1st grade class, still on the starting blocks of their reading journey, still learning to read as these students make their exit, getting Atlanta News First Books to Kids sticker on their way out, of course, and books, bags in hand, walking back to their classrooms. These are books that they're going to get to take home. They are books that belong to these students for many, many years to come, and hopefully will get passed down to younger family members and shared around the household and read by friends who come over for a hangout. So these books aren't just touching one life, they're touching many lives. And our Atlanta News First team is so excited every single month that we get to do this. We get to visit different elementary schools, different communities here in Metro Atlanta. We have done this 29 times now, and it is just as exciting every time to see the look on these kids' faces. I'm actually going to bring in our Atlanta News First anchor, Blair Miller, here.
Hey, Maria.
You got some cool stickers in your hand. Can you show the camera?
Oh, yeah. These are the stickers we hand out when kids are leaving here. And, you know, to you and I, it may just be a sticker, but these kids, it's really something for them. They take with them through the day, and it's really a special moment. You know, remember when we go back to when we were kids and to have someone come in and do something like this, you know, it's really special when you have visitors.
I remember when I was growing up and you'd go to the Trader Joe's checkout and they give you the Trader Joe's sticker, and just
like that.
How excited I was. So I'm sure the stickers go a long way.
Well, that's when they ask you, can I have 10 stickers? You know, you kind of draw a line. But
So this is, you've done Books to Kids with us a couple of times now, and each time you get to interact with some of these students and really see them opening their bags, looking at these books, and just the look on their faces. You're a dad too, so that must hit home for you.
Yeah.
What does it feel like?
Well, I've got 3 little boys at home, and 2 of them are elementary school, 1's in middle school, and reading is a central part of our family. And so when you get to see these kids and they open up their bag and they pull out the books, and you see them just light up, it's not just a book to them. It's really much more of some stability for them to be able to see someone's giving us a gift and really an inspiration of why reading is so important. And you can see, you know, sometimes it's just a book to kind of that makes things take off, you know, for a kid. Maybe can dream about their future of what they're going to be. And so it's not just a book. It's really just much more than that.
So I have a couple questions for you. When we started this stream, we pulled out a book about dinosaurs, and it got
I heard you were asking the tough questions, Maria.
it got our reporter Josh Skinner very excited. So I have to pull the room. I'm going to step
I
off
hope you have
camera.
the book because I don't know what the dinosaurs are. You know.
This is the book. This is a 5th grade reading book. So each of these students are getting books that match their grade level. And I have a question for you. Who would win, Triceratops or a Spinosaurus?
That's the Triceratops, right? Okay. I'm going to go with the Spinosaurus.
Why?
That thing on his head is, I mean...
Nobody's been able to name the horns at this point. We're 0 for 2.
Not even match, but you have no idea what's going on the rest of there in the picture. You know what I mean? You don't know what the Triceratops has going on.
We'll have to read the book and get back to you.
Exactly. You got to read the story, right?
I had a couple people on YouTube also interacting with this question, so we're gonna tally up the votes by the end.
You need to get back to us later this afternoon and say who would win. You know.
What is you said you read with your kids?
Yeah.
Reading is big in your household. What is y'all's current and favorite book?
That's a really good question. It's interesting because they're kind of all over the place because we have an 8-year-old that's reading, and he's such a fluid reader. He will read anything, and that's really kind of fun to see. You just give him a book, and I was just talking to his teacher about it yesterday, a second grade teacher about it, and she was saying how you give him a book, you're not going to get it out of his hands, which is that's awesome. Now our 11-year-old is getting a little more advanced into movies and Stranger Things and all sorts of things that it's like, wow, are you old enough for all that stuff?
Does he let you read with him?
Not so much anymore. It'd be more about, are you reading that book? Let's talk about it. It's like a book club, at the house. And with the 8-year-old, it's much more reading along. Since I work nights, my husband does most of the reading with them. But like on the weekends, it's just fun to kind of see them curl up a book. And we love having reading time. Just take 30 minutes, just sit down and read and just be. I didn't grow up reading a lot. Now I read all the time, for the job just because I love to do it. But I didn't grow up reading a ton. People say to me all the time, you must have read so much when you were younger. Like, no, I really didn't. I really fell in love with reading a little bit later in life. And so I try to see our boys make sure they're enjoying it now because it just takes off later in life, I feel like.
And it gets easier the earlier you start. Absolutely. Blair Baylor, I dropped the book. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maria. You're awesome.
I know you'll be handing out stickers and high fives, books. We'll catch up with you later. We're about to welcome the 1st grade class here, and we're going to see what kind of books they're going to be getting, as well as a chance to read to them and read along with them so that they can start their own reading journey. So I do believe they're about to walk through those doors. I'm going to step off camera here, and we got First Alert meteorologist Courtney Jacobazi, our anchor Brooks Baptiste, Gravir Denza. We just saw Blair, Tracy right next to him, and the rest of our behind-the-scenes Atlanta News First team that makes all of this magic happen. We are all standing by to give out high fives and books and welcome this next class to be seated as we read along with them. And it is anyone's guess what this book will be, but we'll let you know right after this short break. and we are back here at Humphries Elementary School, about to welcome this next class into the library, where we are going to be giving them 5 books to take home, each student with books that match their reading level as they begin their journey through learning about characters and new worlds through the books that they take home today. This is an initiative we've been doing 8 years in the making now, and this is our 29th school here at Humphries Elementary School. We're almost to 30. So exciting to have been doing this month after month, and every chance we get, we see the look on these kids' faces as they learn what books they get to take home, what markers they get to take home, and knowing that those books are going to go such a long way. We have given out over 96,000 books since we've started doing this, and you got to think about that number, 96,000. That is the difference between learning to read and getting on to your reading journey and not getting the opportunity to grab a book and connect with a character as you're beginning and starting to read. Again, that statistic I mentioned earlier, 3rd grade, that is the key pivotal moment where if you are not reading proficiently by that age, you may never catch up in life, and it is very frustrating to want to read, to want to immerse yourself in these worlds and not be able to. So it's really, really important that we connect these young students and these young kids with a chance to read books that get them excited to learn to read and then to read to love. And so some of the books that we have here today, I kind of showed, I'm going to step off camera here. These are books for the 3rd graders. All the books that are going to this next class are over there by our anchors, so I couldn't grab you one, but I wanted to show you some of the books that we are giving out. So we got Little Rhino here about sportsmanship and making sure that you are being a good teammate. I'm going to drop these here. We have Goldie. This one pulled at my heartstrings. Anybody a dog lover over there from where you're watching? This is a wonderful, lovely story about connecting to your furry pet and going on adventures. And of course, we have a couple others. We have Ivy Bean and the Ghost That Had to Go. This one is one of those books that just the cover alone makes you want to stop everything you're doing and start reading. I definitely am jealous of the students that get to take this one home because this looks like a fun read. And of course, last but not least, we have Zappa to Power, Freddie Ramos Makes a Splash. And you can only imagine what this book is about. So a lot of fun, colorful, illustrative, and exciting books. And the next class that we're about to welcome in, these 1st graders, are going to get a chance to get their book bags, to get their markers and their books, open them up, and read along with our Atlanta News First team here at Humphries Elementary School. So they'll get a chance to take these books home. These books will be for them, their family, their siblings, their friends, and they'll get a head start on their reading journey. So by the time they get to that 3rd grade level, they are already soaring past and reading in a way that is enjoyable and easy and fluid for them. So we're going to welcome this class in here. We're getting ready to give out some high fives, some book bags, and have them take their seats as we read books to them for today's Books to Kids event at Humphries Elementary School. As these kids have a seat here, we're going to see if we can chat with some. Hi guys, I'm Maria. What's your names?
Jules.
Joel. What's your name?
Winter.
Winter.
Amir.
We are live right now on our streaming channel, so on TV. and we wanted to see what kind of books you guys got. Can you open them for me?
Are you on the news now?
We are on the news, yeah.
We're not supposed to open them. That's what the lady said.
Will you just show me the books you have, and then we'll put them back? Oh, that's exciting. Can I see that? So our first book here is Betty Lou Tours America. This is an exciting read. And of course, you got Betty Lou right there and a couple of characters surrounding her. Here, you can take that back. And I believe that is a highlighter to mark your books. And yep, Betty Lou. I hope this is the book that they get to read. I feel like this is an exciting one. What else you got for me? We got If You Give a Pig a Party. And give me another one. Oh, let's see this one. All right, we got, this is National Geographic. Actually, I'm a big National Geographic fan, so I'm excited for this one. Look Outside, all about meteorology. And let's see what you got here. More Animals, Pug the Book by Ethan Long. This is a good read. And it's exactly first grade reading level. You can see that on the back. All right, great. And all right, last one. We got Splat the Cat. And you have a little mouse right there. And what I assume is Splat the Cat. We're going to have to read and find out. All right, let's put these books back. Will you tell me which one you're most excited to read?
I'm the most excited to read this one.
Betty Lou? Betty Lou. Why are you excited to read it?
Because I love puppies.
What's your favorite puppy?
A pit bull.
I have a pit bull at home. They're the best. How old is your pit bull?
He's 15.
Oh, wow. And which book are you excited to read?
This one.
Can you tell me about it?
I like cats because I mostly like cats because I have two cats. One has no eyes and one has eyes, and their names are Star and Moon.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I hope the cat enjoys that book as well. All right, we're going to let these kids have a seat. Hi. Hi. Yeah, we're about to go read some books with you, so we're going to have to put those books back, and then we'll read them together. And you can see the excitement in the room here as these kids take a look at their markers and their books and get ready to join us as we read along with them. These are first graders at Humphries Elementary School, beginning what will be an exciting journey for them as they learn to read and then set off on their reading journey, connect with characters. You heard from some of these students as they saw just the book covers alone and saying, this one has a puppy on it, and I have a puppy at home, and I have a cat at home, and they are so excited to connect with these books and get an opportunity to take these home to their families and even show them off to their pets. Why not? I read to my dog. So we're going to join our Atlanta News first, Gravir Dinza, as she reads to these Humphries Elementary School students. This is our first graders here for our 29th Books to Kids event.
Is you a news person?
No, don't take it out yet.
Yes, no, go ahead. Take it
Oh,
out.
take it out, take it out. I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry. One more. Just one. Just one. All right, hold it. Hang on to it. Hold it in your lap. Hold it in your lap. One book. That's it. Hold that. Back up. All right, thumbs up. Look at the book. Thumbs up. Look at the book. All right, when they count down.
When we say three, hey guys, hello, hi guys. When I say 3, 2, 1, you're gonna hold the book up and go, yay!
When you say, when you get to one, that's when you're gonna hold it up and say, okay.
Let's practice one. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, I should have been recording. You guys are naturals. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's try it. We're gonna try it again. Here we go. Just like that. You guys are great. I can tell you guys listen and we're ready to learn. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Put your book away.
Okay, what?
Put your books back in your bag.
And then I'll introduce them.
Close them back up. All right, good job. First grade is there. I'm waiting on second. Put your books up. Put your bags in your lap. All right. Good job, first grade. Put it up, put it up, put it up. Eyes on the speaker.
Okay, you
Take
got
it back.
1, 2, 3. All eyes on the reader. Everybody good? Okay, y'all are first and second grade, right? Okay. I'm going to tell you my name. It's a little bit unusual, so I'm going to just pronounce it for you, and then I'll see if you can say it, okay? My name is Gervier. Can you say Gervier? Gervier! Okay. You probably haven't heard that name before, have you? No. Okay. Well, my name is from India, so I was actually born in India. How old are y'all? Okay. Guess how old I was when I came to America? I was 7, almost 8 years old. So my family, my mom and my 2 sisters and I got on an airplane and flew from India all the way to America. And I didn't know very much English when I came here. So I had to learn how to speak English and read books. And reading books was one of the best things that ever happened to me, because you know what? It made me get to travel all over the world, right? So when you read a book, it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter who your family is, you can put yourself in that book and go anywhere in the world you want to go. That's the really cool thing about reading. And it teaches you new words, right? Right? So I'm going to read this book to you, and it is called We Are in a Book. So y'all ready? I have to wear my glasses, so y'all just have to bear with me with my glasses. Okay, so this is a book called, We Are in a Book. Looks like an elephant and a little pig, right?
Yes.
So we started off with the elephant, who says we're in a book. And Piggy and Elephant are kind of sitting together, and the little piggy says, "Thank you." And the elephant's like, "What?" There's an exclamation point over his head, like in a little balloon. What's going on? He says, "Piggy." Piggy says, "Yes, Gerald." So I guess the elephant's name is Gerald, right? He says, "Yes, Gerald." And Elephant says, "I think someone's looking at us." Are y'all looking at them?
Yes.
Guess what? They know you're looking at them. And then they kind of sit back down, and it's like, what is going on? I think someone's looking at us. Someone's looking at us! He just yelled, "Are y'all looking at them?" Yes! They can see you. Who's looking at us? A monster. No. It's a reader. I guess they're talking about me. A reader is reading us. Yes, I am. How is a reader reading us? Y'all see that? The reader is reading the word bubbles. Because I am. We're in a book. We're in a book? Elephant's not so sure. But Piggy's like, we're in a book. You see Piggy? Piggy's feeling all that. I'm in a book. That's so cool! We're in a book. I'm not going to do any flips for you, though. We're in a book. We're in a book. We're being read. We're being read. They're so excited. They're doing flips and cartwheels. I don't think I can do that. I might be able to do that. Oh, wait a minute. So Piggy says, oh, I have a good idea. I can make the reader say a word. Elephant says, You can make the reader say a word? I can. If the reader reads out loud. That's a good idea. That's a funny idea. Okay, here I go. Banana. Did I just say banana? Wait a minute. Piggy made me say a banana. Piggy made me say banana. Hold on. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? The reader said banana. Oh, wait a minute. The reader said it again. Look at that. That elephant's going crazy. Yeah. Banana. That is so funny. Banana's not really a funny word, but that's okay. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on. Piggy says, do you want to turn? No. Before the book ends? And the elephant says, me? And the book ends? Oh no. Yes, all books do end. When will the book end? I'll look. Page 57.
Page 57.
Page 57? This is page 46 right now. Eek. Now it's page 47. This book is going way too fast. I have more to give. More words. More jokes. I got more jokes. More bananas. I just want to be read. That's all I want. I just want to be read. Piggy says, hey, I have a good idea. Wonder what Piggy's idea is. That's a really good idea. See what he says. Hello. Will you please So I come on the news early in the morning, real early when maybe you're not even awake yet, but your parents might be awake, your grandparents, or aunts, or uncles, or anybody. But I work for these folks right over here. There's Courtney, and there's Brooke, and then we've got more people in the back who are on in the evenings on the news. And so when you get home, you tell your family, guess what channel you're going to watch? Atlanta News First. Can you say that? Thank you. We got stickers.
And as these students get ready to take these books back to their classrooms, we're going to welcome the next class in. They're going to be second graders, but before we go to a commercial, I have two volunteers here with me. What are your names?
Heaven, Alan, Christian.
Oh, we got a third one joining. What's your name? Can you guys say, we'll be right back?
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back with the next class here at Atlanta News First Books to Kids. school here at Humphries Elementary in Southeast Atlanta, and it has been an exciting ride so far. We've welcomed pre-K, kindergarten, first grade. We're about to welcome the second grade, I believe. I'm Maria Moreau here with Atlanta News First Plus, joined by our lovely First Alert meteorologist, Courtney Giacobazzi, and we have had some interesting severe weather recently.
Yeah.
But it's cleared up today in time for us to do this.
Exactly. I was so glad that everything got out of the way early enough to be able to come here, read to the kids, hang out with them. This is honestly one of the most exciting events because the kids get so excited about books. And, sometimes I think it does take seeing, big faces and people who they can look up to really get into it. And so it's really one of my favorite events to come and do. So glad the storms got out of the way. I know some people probably spending the day cleaning up today, but now the sun shines out. It's going to be a great day. So.
It's a good time here in the library of Humphries Elementary. Things are getting silly, as you can see. Speaking of silly, we started this stream with a book about dinosaurs, and it sparked a question that I'm polling everybody who we talk to here on Atlanta News First Plus. Who would win?
Okay.
A Spinosaurus or, actually, a Triceratops? Thank you. Our photojournalist Ismir had to back me up on that.
Gosh, I don't know. Is a Triceratops the one that's got the horn on its head?
I think so, yeah. Yep.
Three horns. Yeah, all day. All day that one wins.
Okay, so far everyone's been saying Triceratops. Also, no one's been able to properly name the horn.
I remember The Land Before Time, with all the different dinosaurs, and I'm like, I know it was the orange one. It had the 3 horns on its head. That one all day. It's got its own defense system. I mean, I know the Spinosaurus, but yeah.
I gotta say Spinosaurus because no one's vouched for the Spinosaurus
Someone's gotta do it.
And so I'm gonna be the one person that says Spinosaurus, although I might not believe it.
Right. It's okay. Someone's gotta show some love. But we have all kinds of different books. We just had a really cool book read. Gravir just read it. Did we have that aired?
We did.
Okay. Blair Miller, wonderful anchor in the evening, of course. We were talking about how creative that book was. I don't know if I've ever read a book where, the characters are looking at you and you're not looking at you technically are looking at the characters, but usually you're in their world, but they're coming into your world. I just thought that was so creative. I've never read a book like that, and it was so fun. So just a small taste of what the kids get to see here at Books to Kids.
I mean, even I got excited. I was like, what is this grand plan they've schemed?
I wanted to know the plot so badly. So, and I think part of that was Gravir's, execution of it. Really sold it. So I don't have to read today, but Gravir was telling me to cartwheel, and I almost did if I didn't have my 5-inch heels on today. And if I didn't wake up at 2 a.m., you get a little loopy at that point. So balance, not as good. But we're about to have, I think, third grade, I think, comes in. So they're going to be able to ask us some questions. So they'll be able to get to, ask me as a meteorologist some questions. They always have really cool weather questions and ask the anchors about what they do. So once we get into the older grades, we get a little more involved because, they usually have a lot of questions to ask us. So really, really fun. We're looking forward to having them in here.
Absolutely. Courtney, thank you so much. We will see you handing out stickers, handing out books.
Yes.
And I just want to talk about the books that are going home here today with these students. We are going to do a question and answer session, but these students are also going to get to take home these books that are geared toward their reading level where they are at currently in their reading journey. And this is part of our mission to connect young readers here in Metro Atlanta with books that will take them far on their reading and understanding journey, because if you are not reading proficiently by the 3rd grade, you may never catch up. But that is a fact of the matter. And so it's never too early to start reading with your kids, even if they can't read yet, even if they're just learning their ABCs. Maybe they're not even there yet. Just read to them, expose them to the world of reading, get them excited about characters and all of the magical worlds that they can enter just by picking up a book. So as we wait for this next class to join us, and we'll get a chance to show you what kind of books they are going to be getting and how they interact with our team here at Atlanta News First Plus, we're going to send it to another short break and catch you back here in the library of Humphries Elementary School. And we are back here at Humphries Elementary School, one of the many schools we've been lucky to visit. And I believe we're about to have a lightsaber fight here in the library of Humphries Elementary School. Just some fun we're having here as we wait to welcome this next class of students who will receive 5 books to take home with them as part of our Books to Kids initiative. This is a project that we've been doing for the past 8 years where we go around Metro Atlanta schools and connect young students with books. And it's so important that we encourage reading at such a young age because it is pivotal in everything we do. Not just reading fiction, but interacting with the world and being empowered through reading. And that is why it's important to start at a young age. For those of you who are watching, for the parents, for the uncles and aunts and the siblings, you can also be a part of their reading journey and starting as early as possible by reading to your young learner, getting them excited about the world and the magic that exists in books, because if they are not reading by the 3rd grade level proficiently, they might never catch up in life. And we all know what it feels like to struggle with reading and how discouraging it can be. So it's really important to inspire that excitement from a young age. So this next class that's coming in is going to get that opportunity to grab their books, grab their markers, and then sit down right here and interact with some of our Atlanta News First anchors and meteorologists and ask them questions about what it's like for them to be in TV news and to be in this job and their own love for reading. And we get to do this every once in a while with schools across Metro Atlanta. And of course, this is no different. This is Humphries Elementary. These students are connecting with us today to talk about reading and to talk about the magical world that reading brings and the characters that come to life through it. I remember when I was growing up, my favorite series was the Nancy Drew books. I really wanted to be a detective, and that led me on my journey to find journalism. So you never know where reading can take you. And here are the 3rd grade class, 3rd grade students walking in, high-fiving our team here, smiling from ear to ear, and grabbing their 5 books and markers to sit down here on the floor where they will have a Q&A session with us here at Atlanta News First.
Come on, Josh. Come on, Josh.
You can do a POV if you'd like.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so road runners, good morning. I can have your attention, right?
Yeah.
So we're from Atlanta News First. Who's watched Atlanta News First? Have you really? Every morning? That's great. So you see some familiar faces, don't you? You've seen this gentleman on, you've seen Courtney on, and Gravir on, right?
Yeah.
So you must stay up a little bit later if you've seen me on and you've seen Blair on as well, right? So we're from Atlanta News First and Telemundo as well. We are representing today. So we are here because this is Books to Kids, right? So we've gone all across the metro for the last 8 years, and we've given out 96,000 books. 96,000. You got to make $500 here. So you guys each have your own bag of books. Now this is yours. This is yours to keep, right? You don't have to share it. You can if you'd like to, because we know summer break is coming up. And what are we going to do during summer break?
Read.
Oh my goodness, I love it. You guys are amazing. So this book is yours to keep for your very own. And that's why we go around to different schools, because we want you to love to read as much as we love to read, right? So this is what we do kind of before work. For some of us, it's a little bit after work. So we want you to enjoy reading as much as we do, okay? So we have some time. You guys are special. So we want to answer some questions for you, okay, about maybe what we do. We have meteorologists here, Telemundo here, and in Telemundo you have to be bilingual all the time, right? Which is a very special skill. So any questions you have for us, please let us know. Put your hand down for a second. So here's what I need you to do, okay? When you have a question, I need you to raise your hand and stand up and say your name, because we want to hear you, okay? A lot of what we have to do is project our voice, right? When we don't have a microphone, we have to speak loud enough for others to hear us. So that's what we want you to do. Don't be shy. We're not going to embarrass anybody. There is no bad question. All questions are great, and we want to answer them for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, so any questions you have? Yes, sir. Stand up and let's hear your name.
My name is Jonathan.
Jonathan.
The question that I wanted to ask you is, how much money do you make?
That's not a bad question. Now, we won't choose to answer it because I think, that's kind of a personal thing, but there is certainly a range depending on, I think, your skill set, how long you've been doing this particular line of work, and what position you are within the company. Like, what do you do for the company? Are you a photographer? Are you an anchor? Are you a reporter? Are you a producer? So there's lots of different ranges in terms of what you can make, just like with any job. Just like here at the school, your professor, your faculty members, your principal, assistant principal, everybody has a different range. I know that's probably not the answer you wanted, but
What do you think
yes.
we made, Jonathan? How much? 200,000? 300,000? Keep going, like 3 million? I was going to say 3 million is books over here, okay? Yeah, right.
we don't quite make
What the movie star.
Yeah. I love the movie.
We would love
We're
to.
not movie star money.
Thank you, Jonathan. We
Good
appreciate your
question,
question. Yes, sir.
My name is Keyshawn, and my question is it hard doing your job?
That's a good question.
So we probably all have different difficulties of what the job is. So if you work the morning shift, sometimes the hardest part is getting out of bed because mornings can start for some people at 2:30 when they get out of bed, 3:30. It's very early because we have to be into the station to be able to go on the air at 4:30. The hardest part sometimes is not necessarily covering the stories, but you feel bad for some of the things that you have to put out there on the news. There's a lot of crime that happens in Atlanta and around the area. Unfortunately, there are some sad situations that happen during the summer months when kids are out of school. So we want everybody to be safe, but that's also why we do what we do. We want people to know what's happening in their community so that they can stay safe, and also that they can be aware of something so that it won't happen to their family if it's something like that. Good question, Keyshawn.
Yes, in the back. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a very good question.
Yeah, I think most of us have been doing this for a while, and we've worked with a lot of people over the years. And it's a really good question because I always say that I have 3 boys who are around your age, and I always say to them, whatever you're going to do in the world, do a job that you would almost do for free because you love it. And absolutely, and I think though maybe some people when we're in our younger years, maybe they're not doing it anymore because they may not have loved it. But I think most people up here, you're going to have bad days. Most of the days are great. And I think, the best part of my job is being able to come to work, and I look forward to every single day. And because we get the opportunity to tell what's going on in the world, and it really is a job I do for free. And so, yes, I love my job. I think most of us would say we love our job because we spend a lot of crazy hours doing this sometimes. So many people got up at like 1 o'clock last night or they get up so early. I work till midnight at night. And so you don't do that just because you don't like it.
It's not one of those jobs that you do like from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, most of the time. For most of us, it's either evening or early morning. And so, sometimes that is hard, like Brooke said, but we love the people we work with, and that makes it a lot more fun, right? Yeah. Like, isn't it nice when you come to school and you've got friends and people to hang out with? It makes it a lot better.
And it's something different every day. You walk into work, it's never the same thing, so you're never really bored, really fun. Whether it's weather, which is what I do, or it's all different.
And Joshua over here goes out in the field and reports on different stories. He gets to do some really cool stories and meets really interesting people, right? So he's not just sitting in a building all day long.
That is correct. Even though I'm a reporter, I'm actually more comfortable being behind my camera. I do all my own writing, editing, and shooting. So we talk about things you love your job, and you not like your job. I always like to say it's a love-hate relationship because I love what I do. I'm also one of the few reporters that will fight to do all my own work. I like working by myself. I like the freedom of that part of it. I get to go out. They give me a story or an assignment, and it is up to me to decide how I want to do it, how it goes, everything about it. And that's really what I love about it the most is the autonomy and the being able to be creative.
Cool. All right. Yes, sir.
My name is Terry, and when y'all first came to your job, were y'all really nervous?
Very good question.
Okay, I'm going to go. Okay, so I'm fairly new, maybe the newest out of all of them. I've been working in this job for 3 years, and let me tell you, I still get nervous. There's times where, you don't know what your day looks like. You don't know what you're going to be in front of talking about even. And you have very little time to prepare for that information, but you say it the best you can, and you make clear. So yes, you get scared, you get a little bit nervous, but you are through those nerves, and you get that out.
Yes. Practice makes perfect, right?
I was so nervous on my very first day on the job that I forgot my camera.
Aww. And that is a very key element in this job.
Without it, you can't do much. Yes, yes. Stand up, Steve.
My name is Carrie and is your job fun? Do you think your job is fun?
I would say it's fun.
I think the job it's an absolute blast. If you watch our news tonight, you'll see me just in the studio. What you don't see is what we've done to kind of get to this point. And that's really what Josh does, I think, is the most fun. You're out and you get to talk to people, you get to experience things. I've talked about the helicopters, I've gone to the military, I've done all these different things. Been in the Oval Office, the White House. It's so much fun. You get to speak with some really amazing things that you just read about in books sometimes. And you get the privilege of going to talk to people who've either had the best day of their life or maybe the worst day of their life. And there's so much responsibility with that. To be able to talk to someone and say, tell me about that. And then explain that and share that with the whole city. It's so much fun and rewarding in that sense. Yeah, we have crazy days, but it's not always all the time. It really is. I mean, I could never sit in a cubicle and do it all day. And I think most of us would say the same thing. I've done it before. But also, as you say, that we get to go to people. Sometimes the people come to us. If you watch the morning show during our 8 and 9 o'clock hours. Sometimes we get to interview people, so we can interview anybody from a big-time musician, it could be an actor, literally it could be the newest restaurant, a chef, or we can talk to athletes. Literally a little bit of everybody. Even the
city council men and women and whatnot. So we get to talk to people, and one of the best parts is that we do get to learn about certain things before everybody else. But my favorite part is when I hear somebody say that they don't think their story is interesting, and I always say to them, that's because you didn't let me tell it. So I tell it, and it will be interesting. But that's what we've been blessed to do, and what we're gifted to do is to tell people stories and share it for them. And it's an honor for sure.
And we get to see people and hear opinions and see sides of the world that we probably wouldn't otherwise. And most people never would. And so it also helps broaden our mind.
Yes, sir. In the red shirt. Can you stand up? Thank you.
My name is Josiah, and do y'all work for the city?
For the city? No, we don't work for the city. That is a great question because we have to make sure we are not impartial to any city, right? Whether it's College Park or Atlanta or Marietta or whatever it is, so that we can tell the stories without being biased, right? Without trying to tell the story from that particular city's perspective. So we are our own entity, and that way we can talk about every city and everyone.
And I think the nice thing is all of us live in different places around Metro Atlanta. Because, Metro Atlanta isn't just Atlanta, right? So there's lots of places around it. And all of us live in different places. So that's kind of nice, too, because it gives a different perspective that somebody else might not understand. So that's good, too. Yes, sir? Can you stand up? And tell us your name.
My name is David, and how many schools do I go to?
I think it's been, how many? We had it on our sheets, and I don't have it. 36? Is it like over 20?
I think it was asking where did we go to school.
Oh, where did we go?
I thought he was asking
Or how many schools?
Or how many you do for in a year?
Right.
Are you asking how many schools we visit like this, or where did we go?
So in the last 8 years, it's been 29, right? 29 schools.
In the last year?
So we met a lot of students, a lot. Yes, ma'am.
Zendaya? No. That would be cool.
I'm sure some gentlemen would love to have met.
No, we haven't. She hasn't been to the studio.
We did interview Lupita from the robot
Nyong'o?
movie. Yeah, so she played the robot, and that's played the robot movie that was animated.
What was it, the Wild Robot? I think
Wild
it was.
Robot.
And
Yeah.
she also played, you guys have seen Wakanda Forever. Y'all know who that is, yeah. I'm trying to think of what's been like the coolest rapper that we've interviewed. I don't know. Yeah.
I interviewed Tom Brady.
You did interview Tom Brady.
Yes, ma'am. You've been holding your hand up for a while.
Can you mess up on your job?
Can we?
you mess up?
I think a better question is, have we messed up? And some days, that's more than, we would like to. But, there's some grace. We're not perfect, obviously, when it comes to, like, reading the prompter or putting the story together or, making sure we have all the right information. So sometimes we have to have someone, well, not sometimes, all the time we have someone double check our work. And we check other people's work, because when we go on the set and we read something or say something, or when Joshua reports something, we want to make sure that's correct. Now do we stumble over something, or mispronounce a word every now and then? Obviously, we're human. So.
I'm going to talk about one time that I messed up, and it wasn't even my fault. We were outside recording, right? And there was a swarm of flies. I mean, literally, as soon as I'm about to go on air, 3 seconds before, the swarm of flies here, and the flies are all over my face, and I'm working through it, and, just swatting them out of the way. But sometimes you deal with things that are not even in your control. So you got to learn how to push through it.
We have time for one more question. Yes, sir.
My name is Terry, and who's your famous person you recorded?
Most famous
Like
person
we've interviewed?
We've interviewed, yes.
That's hard. We cover so many things. It's kind of hard when you think about it.
I used to work in Washington, and so I interviewed a lot of politician people. So I've interviewed a lot of presidents, had lots of presidents. To me, that's always been cool. I know some people are like, oh, whatever, but it's cool.
Any famous celebrities? I know. My memory is very short.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah. The Rock. The Rock. CeeLo Green has been, yeah.
CeCe Winans.
CeCe Winans.
Things we don't really think about it.
No, it's not every game too. Yeah.
Thank you. We have to let the other class come in, but I'll tell you what, we're going to be passing out stickers, and if you want to ask us questions about what we do, and you didn't get a chance to ask a question, just pull us aside and ask us, okay? All right, you guys have been amazing. Thank you.
And we want to thank you for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus as we bring books to kids here at Humphries Elementary School. This is an initiative we're going to keep on doing here in the community, and if you want to participate, you can download our Atlanta News First app on your phone. Go to the Books to Kids section. You can find out how to get involved and how to nominate your school, so maybe we can come and share more books to kids. Thanks for joining us here on Atlanta News First Plus. Our Atlanta News First News at Noon is coming up next.